I killed my mother, Joanna Lannister, on the day I was born. I killed my father, Tywin Lannister, with a bolt to the heart. I am the greatest Lannister killer of our time.
Actor Peter Dinklage has won 4 Emmys for his portrayal of Tyrion Lannister in HBO's Game of Thrones. Now he's tackling another literary hero. Lesley Stahl has our Sunday profile.
Hello, Lesley.
Hi.
Full disclosure, I've wanted to interview Peter Dinklage for years, but he's a hard man to get in the chair.
You're famously private. I'm told you really don't like to talk like this.
Well, if I was truly private, I wouldn't be here. You know, I'm not Salinger. You know, I'm an actor, so I'm selling cars here. You know what I'm saying? But I think privacy is something that's really getting chipped away at these days, especially with actors. The more you know about an actor's personal life, you see it on screen when they're playing a character. And I feel like subconsciously, it kind of chips away at the fabric of what you're watching, who you're seeing.
I want to say to you, get over it, because this is the way it is. And you're not going to be...
I know, but I'm a cranky old man that's still railing against it. Pleasure to meet you, Cyrano de Bergerac.
The vehicle this charmingly cranky 52-year-old is selling is Cyrano.
Cyrano?
Cyrano.
A new movie based on an old play. Cyrano de Bergerac was written by Edmond Rostand in 1897. It's the tale of a man ashamed of his appearance.
You don't think she has the depth to look beyond
Careful.
your unique physique?
Not bad.
Thank you. To love you for who you are, not for how you look.
Who helps another man.
With women, my whole life I've been useless, silent. What's the word for when you're bad at expressing yourself?
Inarticulate.
That's it.
So Cyrano ghostwrites love letters to woo Roxanne, the woman both men love. The character, who's traditionally bedecked with a large and repellent nose, has been played by everyone, from Jose Ferrer, who won an Oscar for his portrayal, to Steve Martin, who didn't.
Yes, what you've heard is true. I am not a rumor. I am living proof that God has a sixth sense of humor.
Peter Dinklage's Cyrano is certainly a contender. This Cyrano was filmed in a small town in Sicily last fall at the height of the pandemic. The movie set was isolated and safe most of the time.
What made you decide to shoot a sequence on a volcano?
Well, it seemed to be a good idea at the time.
Director Joe Wright almost had a disaster movie on his hands when Mount Etna...
It exploded while you were there.
Yeah, that was unforeseen. It was bad luck, really.
On the last day, the volcano erupted and literally spitting, lava at us.
Oh my God.
As we ran down the hill.
Literally ran for your life.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
That was the cliffhanger finale of the film shoot in Sicily, but our story really began calmly in Connecticut at the Goodspeed Theater 3 years ago.
Was Peter still working on Game of Thrones at the time?
He wrapped Game of Thrones, and 2 days later, he started rehearsal for Cyrano.
Erica Schmidt, an award-winning dramatist, is Peter Dinklage's wife.
I am a poet. My words are wasted now. They need to be spoken aloud.
She wrote and directed the stage adaptation of Cyrano.
I love the character of Cyrano. I love how uncompromising he is, that he is unwilling to be bought. I don't think he would post much on Instagram or Twitter. You know, he really is his own person.
And yet he's insecure.
Yes.
Erica told us, your wife, that you begged her for the part.
Begged. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, essentially, yes, that's true.
But why? What was it?
Well, for an actor, you always want to do something that, for me at least, that scares you. I know that sounds very valiant of me, but it's true. I just never had sung since I was a kid.
I can't tell you how long
Joe Wright came to see the play. His girlfriend, Haley Bennett, starred as Roxanne on the stage, as well as in the movie. He asked Erica Schmidt to write the screenplay.
So there were scenes in the movie that are almost directly from the play.
Yes.
And then other things he needed to change.
Yeah, I mean, the last act is almost word for word.
What did you ask her to add?
She had cut all reference to the nose and made no reference to Pete's height. And I felt that it was important to make some reference to how others might perceive Cyrano.
So at the very beginning,
someone calls him a freak.
You're a freak.
The insult is antique, but I accept it.
And so we understand
Freak.
what the deal is, and then we can get past it.
Is that it?
your wife, she said she didn't write the play with you in mind.
No.
But I wonder if she did subliminally, because it fits you so perfectly.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the glove.
Perhaps she did subliminally. I think with the stage version, I'd like to think that it allows it to then speak more universally and not just specifically to someone my size or somebody who is differently abled. That we all have that sort of insecurity when it comes to the person we are.
In the movie, you forget it.
Well, that's my gig, is to sort of, it is
But
who
even
I
though
am.
it's said
but let's get
explicit.
beyond it, and that's not all who I am. I mean, I've read scripts where I say no to these characters that they're trying to get me to play because it's just my height, and it never scratches anything deeper.
You had a rule, it is said, that you wouldn't play Santa's elves and you wouldn't play a leprechaun.
They're not real people.
They're not real people.
No. I mean, if it was a really well-written leprechaun who had complexity and but no.
Braun, the next time Samoan speaks, kill him.
Game of Thrones,
That was a threat.
because of that,
See the difference?
you're totally famous. Can you walk down the street without being swarmed?
Depends on the day.
Do you hate it?
Yes, that I do, because I'm not working. I'm just walking down the street.
We lived in Chelsea for a while, and we had a dog, a very big dog, that had to be walked a lot. And this was probably season 3 of Thrones. And he started walking down the street, and all of these people came. I don't know where they were coming from the restaurants, and it was like 30 people, you know, Peter, Tyrion, coming towards him. And I see walking towards me, Leonardo DiCaprio with a baseball cap and sunglasses. And he just walked right by, nobody even blinked. But it was, I mean, he can't hide, Peter. He can't put on his sunglasses and a hat and disappear.
What's intriguing is that you have spoken about how you don't want to be stared at, you don't want to be looked at, and then you choose a profession that's all about people staring at you. You know, it's a point.
But I own that stare. It's because I've flipped it, maybe, and they're staring at me for a different reason.
Well, what about when you were growing up? You've said you had a happy childhood.
Oh, here we go.
For a moment, I thought this would be the abrupt end of our interview, but... Oh, God.
No, I mean, I grew up in town in New Jersey, and we didn't move. I wasn't the new kid. I imagine if someone like me comes into a new school, there's a bit of getting used to it, a social dance there, but I grew up in the same town, so it was just what it was.
Are you as balanced as you come off?
No. I'm a mess.
You're giving me a little bit of acting thing.
You think I'm acting now?
A little bit.
No, really? Well, well, then turn off the cameras. Then I won't act anymore. No, this is me. I'm balanced.